All right, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. And this lesson pretty much is about speaking with the hands, or not using obscene gestures such as the middle finger, right? Because first of all, like, the middle finger is it's an offensive gesture, and it don't belong to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's straight up Greek and Roman. Like, that's their culture. They always doing something perverse and profane. Like, Esau's the border of wickedness. Esau's the so-called white man. He's the border of wickedness. So it's like, like, sometimes you're gonna see brothers like using that gesture that you're going off by doing that. You know what I'm saying? You just should restrain yourself. And we're gonna show in the scriptures where it references speaking with the hands like that. Like, we shouldn't speak with the hands in such a manner. But I'm gonna go into a little bit of the origin of this middle finger, and just this little light articles. Nothing, no primaries here, but just general information that you could look up yourself and look up primary sources yourself. So we'll just skim through the article, right? Um, yeah. So the middle finger extended with the other fingers held beneath the thumb is documented to have expressed insult and belittlement for more than 2 millennia. The phallic gesture. Ancient Greek philosophers, Latin poets, okay, it's one of the most ancient insult gestures known, says anthropologist Desmond Morris. The middle finger is the penis, and the curled fingers on either side are the testicles. By doing it, you're offering someone a phallic gesture. It is saying this is a phallus that you're offering to people, which is very prime evil display, right? So by putting up the middle finger, you're basically offering phallus. You're offering, that's like a sodomite. That's a sodomite gesture, right? Um, the Romans had their own name for it. Uh, Digitus impudicus, the shameless, indecent, or offensive finger. Okay. Uh, yeah. So it's associated with sodomy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be associated with no sodomy. You don't want to like, give out profane gestures. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be walking set apart. We're supposed to be walking holy. You're not supposed to be dealing with that. So yeah, earlier the Greeks used the middle finger as an explicit reference to the male genitalia. In 419 BC, the playwright Aristophanes puns in his comedy The Clouds about the dactylic finger rhythm, with a character gesturing first with his middle finger. So they've been doing this for a long time, and this is in their nature. Um, okay, the middle finger, which Dr. Morris says probably arrived in the U.S. with the Italian immigrants, they're gonna throw it on the Italians. That's crazy. Is documented because remember, this dealing with the so-called white man. He's divided amongst himself. So you have racism during that time with the Italians and the Irish, and the people who first colonized the 13 colonies. The so-called pilgrims. You had a discord between them. You could even watch that movie, gangs in New York, and it shows like the early gangs in America, and that discord. So a lot of this information saying that it arrived with Italian immigrants, probably having to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when a picture from the Boston Bean Eaters gave it in a joint team photograph with the rival New York Giants. Oh, that's some good history to look out there. The French have their own phallic salute, says Dr. Morris. I bet they do. In performing the Barras de Honneur, arm the arm of honor, one raises the forearm with the back of the hand facing outward, while slapping or gripping the inside of the elbow with the other hand. The British gesture, the two-fingered V. Okay, double phallus. Alright, so yeah, alright, that's pretty much it with this article. So we're going to hit the scriptures real quick. So we're going to go to Proverbs 6. Proverbs chapter 6, and we're going to start at verse 12. Alright? A naughty person, so a bad person, right? A wicked man walketh with a forward mouth. So what is walking with a forward mouth? Basically talking ish. Someone who talks a lot of ish. Somebody who, who provokes, right? He winketh with his eyes. He speaketh with his feet. He teaches with his fingers. So that's one thing. Like, okay, let's get to this. Forwardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually, and he soweth discord. So, anytime you see somebody, if you ever have a conversation with somebody, and they speaking and they trying to act like they making a point about something, and they wink at you, that's a signal of deception right there. You know what I'm saying? Because a wink is supposed to be covert. So whoever you're winking at, it's a message between you and the person that you're winking at. So through that, can come lies, can come deception. So this is telling you that when dealing with people who do this, these are signs to watch out for when dealing with a wicked man. You know what I'm saying? And he speaketh with his feet, like exasperating, like when somebody exasperates. Look, the word exasperate means to irritate and frustrate someone intensely. Anger, annoy, irritate, madden, enrage, inflame, antagonize, provoke. So it's like you got somebody telling a story, and then not only are they speaking with their feet, just like, they're getting into a character, but they winking their eye, trying to make a point and trying to be low key with something, and then teaching with their fingers, and they telling their story, and they clapping their hands when they speak, or you know what I'm saying, when they telling the story, they raising their middle finger and saying, yo, I beat the dude down, F that dude, and they raise their middle finger. Those are signs of a wicked man, and that's something that a lot of our brothers and sisters, brothers coming up in the streets, they this is how they are. This is like the perfect description of somebody who's dealing with the gang life. You know what I'm saying, or somebody who, who's dealing with mischief. Forwardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually, and he soweth discord. Right. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly, and suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. Right? 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yeah, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look. And that's something that brothers gotta, you even as an Israelite, like we be dealing with a certain sense of pride that we gotta humble down to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got brothers that you understand you an Israelite, you know that God's dealing with the chosen people, but you still gotta keep that mentality that you ain't ish. You know what I'm saying? You have to be you gotta be lowly and meek. You gotta be humble. You know what I'm saying? Even when we dealing with these devils, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we know all the scriptures where the Israel is exhorted and everything, but like when you gotta have a certain you have to have a certain humility about yourself, and you can't have that proud look, because it tells you right here that the proud look is something that the Lord hates. Don't think you got everything. Don't think you got everything on your lap because you know the truth. It's about daily sacrifices, right? And humility, you know what I'm saying? And charity. A lying tongue, right? So we should just always be speaking according to the word, and we should never be putting ourselves in a position to even have to lie in the first place, right? And hands that shed innocent blood. And that's self-explanatory, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not even supposed to be laying hands like that, you know what I'm saying? Only in self-defense. Uh, a heart that devises wicked imaginations, right? Wicked imaginations, dealing with bugged out doctrines, or wicked fantasies, or just like just just you should be meditating daily on the word, man. You're not supposed to be imagining yourself doing anything contrary to what the Bible speaks against. To what the Bible speaks about. Feet that be swift and running into mischief. A false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. And this is something that's very prominent. Something that's very prominent in the community. False witnesses that speak lies and cast that sow discord. Anytime you see brothers that are in that spirit all the time, you gotta watch them. You know what I'm saying? They be looking for any little gnat to strain that. So you just gotta dudes gotta be coming with that spirit of brotherhood, man. And you gotta correct your brother out of love because you want to save him and you want him to be righteous. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to correct brothers making a video, just dealing with a whole bunch of strife. So it says, my son, keep thy father's commandment and forsake not the law of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thine heart and tie them about thy neck. When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. So you got to be meditating daily on this word, man. That's how you know you got the spirit, because you waking up and you going to sleep to this truth, man. This is all you think about every day. And then the way you see the world is through the lens of being in the truth. That's how ever since I learned, my identity and started, studying diligently, and once I got that spirit, everything changed. My whole perception about likes and dislikes changed, and the lens that I looked at things changed. So now, I have a whole totally different worldview. For the commandment is a lamp. And what does a lamp do? It lights up a dark room, right? And the law is a light, right? And reproofs of instruction are the way of life. Woo, fire. To keep thee from evil, right? Wait, to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. All right, that goes into something else. That's a different lesson. But basically, my whole point of this lesson was, just not speaking with the hands. You know what I'm saying? As far as we could have got into other things, we could get into the gang. We could get into the gang signs with this too. I'll touch on that briefly. So a brother made a good point, because I mentioned, like, when I used to see, this is before I used to see some of my the some brothers from the world, right? And then even me being in the truth, like, not being ignorant to what I'm doing, like, I was still peace them. Like, that we have like a little handshake that we do, right, in the world. Something light. It ain't that crazy, but it's something light. But then I think I mentioned this to another brother, and he corrected me. He's like, yo, like, why would you represent anything from the affiliation that you had before on any level? You know what I'm saying? Because what happens if you get caught piecing one of your peoples, just on some greeting type wave, right? And then now you see, I mean, one of the enemies that are currently still about that life, they see you piecing that brother, even though you out of that whole lifestyle. They see you piecing that brother, they're gonna go get the grip, and then they're gonna clap you just off the strength of you piecing that dude. So it's like, you have to get rid of that old man. So speaking with the hands is drawing that mischief. Everything that has to do with, speaking with the hands. You know what I'm saying? In regard to, like, Everything that has to do with speaking with the hands is it's gonna lead you to mischief, like the scripture says, going back to um a naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a forward mouth. He winketh with his eyes, he speaketh with his feet, and he teacheth with his fingers. Forwardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually. He soweth discord. And that gang life, that's like the epitome of that scripture. You know what I'm saying? That this is straight up sowing discord between your brothers. It's crazy because like I lived in a neighborhood where it was like you had this hood versus this hood, and then you had cats affiliated with different gangs or organizations. But the only but it's crazy because it's like, all right, the dudes from that hood, they were the same people of the dudes from my hood. You know what I'm saying? Like the dudes from this street and that street, they from the same countries. You have dudes that was from wherever, you know what I'm saying? But technically they would be kin, you know what I'm saying? They would be of the same family, but it's just the only thing that was separating us was where we grew up at. You know what I'm saying? Because if the dude would have grew up on my block, he would have been part of my set. And if I would have grew up on his block, I would have been part of his set. But because we grew up in a different location, we automatically became enemies. So that's just a silly mindset that these streets, created. You know what I'm saying? So just this is little quick lesson. You know what I'm saying? We could go in that more, but speaking with the hands is not a good thing. Put away that negative. Shalom.